Joining me now is Mike Parmigiani, retired FBI supervisory special agent and firearm training instructor. Thank you for being with us under these circumstances. It is so critical they find him before more damage is done. I am particularly concerned about his firearms training, as I know you are, and his readiness for law enforcement to engage him. Talk me through that.
Thank you for having me. As a firearms instructor, as a holder of a federal firearms license, it's really a sad moment when we see somebody with that level of experience and training doing bad and not good. Most of my peers in this business try hard every day to get citizens of the United States trained up in accordance with the state laws, abiding by the Second Amendment of the Constitution to manage firearms safely. There are several golden rules of firearms handling. When somebody has been triggered in such a way that this man has, those are no longer relevant to someone in his state. But it's really unfortunate that this industry, somebody like me might be looked upon as doing bad things with this skill set and this level of authority and a certification. But this is one person that really shouldn't reflect on those of us that have better intentions.
No, and there are so many who are trained. Many of those people with similar training are actively searching for him. So he is going to be outmatched when it comes down to it in the end. But I have to talk about the possibility, Mike, that if he had one firearm, given his training, the likelihood that he had access to others, they have to operate under that assumption, correct?
Yeah, that would be a safe assumption. There are some record-checking abilities that our peers at the ATF will be doing. I'm not sure what the capabilities in Maine are, but probably at this moment, law enforcement is collecting all the intel on this man, his places where he's been, houses he may have, and they're executing search warrants if they haven't already. They're looking at records. They're checking with area firearms licensees, whether it's a retail store or privately, to try and garner as much intel as possible to see what's possibly out there in his hands.
And also the fact of the matter is he likely had this planned, which means he probably had a getaway planned as well, a potential hiding place. We are approaching 17 hours into this manhunt. Investigatively, how does that complicate law enforcement's ability to hone in on him?
Yeah, he probably had a plan at the onset, but it may not be following all the way through. It's really hard to think it through completely. And so I'm not sure what his game is now. He probably got the first part of his plan accomplished, and now he's trying to figure out what to do, because once you hit the start button on this and law enforcement gets involved from every level, federal, state, local, and they bring on their resources, he's going to have to shift. And he's going to make a mistake, and law enforcement is going to be on top of that, making sure that no further acts of violence occur. You know, maybe in his plan, it's pretty rare for somebody to have such a plan that they've followed through with stashes of firearms in places. We had a case years ago in the mid-90s in Pennsylvania where similar individual had dug holes in the ground and made stashes of firearms and ammo, and had a plan to execute an act of violence and then retreat into his various locations where he had things hidden in secret. Not very common. That's fairly high level advanced. I don't know if this individual has that capability. My guess is he's on the run with limited assets.
The focus is, one, on finding him and making sure no more lives are lost. But the question is going to be asked, and it should be even as part of the investigation, his mental state. We know he was treated this summer for some mental health issues. He had reported hearing voices. He had even threatened to carry out a shooting at a military training base in Maine. How do investigators incorporate that component to their ability to piece together the evidence?
Yeah, that's huge. Besides having a firearms training business, I have a risk assessment company where we train and teach people and help set up their protocols for their facilities, whether it's a church or business, whatever. Mental state is huge. These guns don't go off on their own. It takes an individual to utilize them in a manner good or bad. And so there were indicators, I'm quite sure, when they review all of this and he's captured and in days and weeks coming, looking forward, they're going to find that there were friends that saw and heard things. There were notes on the internet in whatever fashion he's using, Facebook or Twitter or whatever. There are people at work. There are all these little factors are being collected right now.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.